Footbap Nation!
Let's ride.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Fantasy Footbaps podcast. It's me, your host, Brandon, joined by my co-host, Paul. Say what up.
What up?
Footbap Nation was a wild week this week, and it's getting even wilder coming up on the show with waivers. We got bye weeks next week, some teams looking down bad, and we also got some OGs getting some wins this week. And we got some prolonged sucking going on by some other people in the league. Dewey. So Paul, you ready to get right into this?
Oh yeah, I cannot wait.
All right. Let's look at the first matchup here then. It is me versus the Poo Bags. So Dewey has changed his name to the Poo Bags. Congrats to Dewey. I think at this point there's absolutely no chance. We were talking about it last week, but I think there's absolutely no chance that Dewey or that anyone else in league history has started worse than 0-8, right?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
I also would be shocked. I'm gonna actually look this up live on air right now. I want to see if there's ever been a losing streak worse than 8 games in general. So last season, Nick lost 7 in a row. The season before, Mike lost 6 in a row. The season before that, Dewey lost 4 in a row. That's crazy. There was a season where the highest lose streak was only 4 wins. That was 2020. That's actually insane. Oh no. Okay, so Dewey has tied the longest streak, it looks like.
What?
Gorman lost 8 in a row in 2019, which was, I think, the year after he won it, actually.
Yeah.
So the longest losing streak in league history was Gorman losing 8 in a row in 2019, and now Dewey has tied that, losing 8 in a row to start this season. I'm not sure what his matchup looks like going forward, like going in this week or anything. But 0-8 is definitely the worst start of all time. Like there's no question about it. And Dewey almost got me on this one. So Dewey, I beat Dewey 105 to 100, and it came down to Monday night. Dewey, of course, like the same thing that happened with Nick, and I want to say Chip or someone. Or someone else. Either way, Dewey had his best game of the season. No surprise there. I was saying it last week. Dewey at some point has to win. He has to score more than 91 points at some point, and he finally hit the 100 mark. It was against me. Thanks to Joe Mixon, legacy game, best game of the season. T. Higgins had 9 points after scoring like 3 or less basically every week besides one. Who else? Oh, Dalton Kincaid legacy game. That was on Thursday night, and that's how I knew I was in for a rough one. But it came down to Monday night. I had Sam Laporta. I was down by like 9 or 10, and I knew Sam Laporta I was either going to lose this game by 1 or win it by like 5, because if he didn't score a touchdown, he was going to get his usual like 8 or 9. And if he scored a touchdown, I think every week he scored a touchdown, he scored 15 plus, and every week he hasn't. He's been below it. And he's caught a touchdown before halftime, which was even better. I didn't have to watch the second half of that shitty fucking game. Although I was following along, and I had 2 different parlays that I put in with Jacoby Myers to get literally just 25 receiving yards, and he had 1 catch for 19 yards. The only time he didn't have 25 yards. The only time he didn't have 39 yards all season, actually. I really lowered it, and it lost. Fuck you, Jacoby Myers. Actually, fuck you, Jimmy Garoppolo, and that game's going to come up big in a matchup coming up. Chip, if you're listening, I'm sorry. And Steve, if you're listening, congratulations. Little spoiler there, but I beat Dewey. He's 0-8. I'm 3-5. Really doesn't matter. Both of us are like pretty much out of the fucking playoffs. But I just didn't want to lose to 0-8 Dewey, 0-7 Dewey. That would have really sucked. And Justin Herbert got me 24 points Sunday night. That was nice. I really was pissed too, because I was like, oh nice, Pacheco and Tony Pollard had their worst games of the year. Like, this is what I've been saying is like, I can never have a week where all my guys put it together in the same week. Like, there are 2 guys that suck every week in my lineup, and since my lineup doesn't have I don't have the chip roster, or the Austin roster, the Kyle roster, Steve roster. Yeah, like I can't just like Dave. Yeah, I don't have like just 3 guys to get me 25 plus points every week and carry me to a win. Like, that doesn't happen to me because my players don't score touchdowns. So like it was rough, dude. But I beat Dewey, so
the Herbert came through big times. I needed him to do well in my other league, and I'm happy. I
Yeah.
love it. And also, Dewey's name, it's up there with Mike's name. I'd say that's a really good name.
Dewey's name? Oh yeah, the poo
Yeah,
bags was
yeah.
really good
That's a
because
good
I
one.
think he was the fighting do bags before, and now we got the poo
Mhm.
bags, and that's about as good as it gets. I think Chip actually needed Herbert and Laporta to combine for like a good amount of points, so he got in a different league, so he got that, and that was nice for him. But yeah, Herbie came up big. He could have had even more points too. I want to say that there was like a drop or something towards the end. Like there was a decently big play that could have happened that didn't happen. I can't even remember at this point. I was happy enough he got 24. Like I wasn't complaining at all. Um, but yeah, and that leads us to our next game that I gave a little bit of a spoiler on. Steve beats Chip 111 to 106. Actually, before we get to this game, I actually just realized because I think I think a trade happened
Yeah, it
after
did.
our episode. Yeah.
Yeah, the fans don't know about this yet.
Okay, so because this plays such a big part into Chip and Steve's matchup, after our episode ended on uh Wednesday, I'll go through I'll go through some shit that happened after up to I'm not going to spoil today's waivers yet because it's a big one. But after our episode ended last week, it looks like Gorman picked up
Yeah.
Devin Singletary, stole him right from Ryan and or Mike, maybe even both of them. Chip picked up Taysom Hill. Dave picked up Craig Reynolds. The season ruiner picked up Cameron Dicker,
Yeah,
which is
that was a
also
big one.
gonna
That was a
come
big
in
one.
big later too. So for anyone that still thinks that kickers are a meaningful position in fantasy, they're fucking not. Brett Maher was the number 3 kicker on the season, and he got cut from his football team. Kicker's a stupid fucking position in fantasy, and so Paul had to pick up a new kicker, and he got Cameron Dicker. And when we get to that game, that'll be a fun one also. Mike changed his name back to Pinhead Singletary. Thank you,
Yes.
Mike.
Rejoice. The
Um,
fans can be happy.
Tight end picked up. Dewey apparently picked up Kaimi Fairbairn. Cool. But this was the big one. Chip and Mike blockbuster trade. And some were calling Mike a madman for this. So Chip traded DJ Moore and Raheem Mostert. So DJ Moore, no Justin Fields. And Raheem Mostert, injury prone 31-year-old running back who's probably hit his ceiling, we would think.
His
And
career ceiling.
yeah,
There's no way.
well, yeah, career ceiling, of course, dude. This is like he probably has his
Yeah, but
career best stats in like 7 games already.
yeah. I'm just saying he's 31. He's like the fact that he's peaking now is just nuts.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But maybe we'll see. There's a method to Mike's madness. So DJ Moore and Raheem Mostert to Mike for Alexander Madison, who fucking sucks, and Devontae Adams. And when this trade went down, Paul, was the group chat not blowing up with people they were just going in on Mike? And in my mind, I was like, I knew that Devontae Adams was having a down year, and I looked, and I'm not spoiling the most recent game with this. And I looked at his game log up to that point, and I noticed it was like 6-3-9-9, like, and I was like, oh shit, Devontae's kind of sucking. So I was like, if you like had to ask me which side I'd want to be on, I'd be like, I'll take Devontae and hope that things turn around. And Raheem Mostert's probably going to get hurt or replaced by Achan, or Jeff Wilson's going to get more touches, whatever. But when that trade first happened, who did you think won, Chip or Mike?
Definitely Chip, because he got rid of Mostert, who I was, macking on all year.
Macking on? That means like making out with.
Yeah, he's kind of cute. What's the word that I'm thinking of? Just like narking on.
No, not
not
narking.
Oh,
narking
no.
is telling on someone. I think you're like ragging on or something.
Ragging, dude. Yeah.
Dude,
Okay,
you were
right,
narking on Raheem Mostert, dude.
yeah,
What the fuck?
Kissing a man, telling on him. But yeah. Anyway, DJ Moore too. Get rid of them. I was like, wow, that's a great ass deal if you're getting Devontae Adams, who like last year he ended pretty well.
No, he ended bad. I had him and he fucking lost me my playoffs.
I mean, okay, maybe not ending, but I thought like
he ended like in terms of like what, like ranking in fantasy, right? Like at the end of the year. Is that what you mean? Yeah, because he had a lot of like random 30-point games and shit. That was basically what he did last year. Was like 35 points, 28 points, 35 points, 5, 8, 31-5, 32, like, and it looks like that kind of is what he's doing this year. But I was on the same boat where I was like, if you had to make me pick a winner, I would say that Chip won the trade because he got Devontae Adams and got rid of two guys that you would think are going to like regress. But at the same time, a part of me in my mind was like, what if Mostert just like keeps performing, and what if Devontae just never is he? What if Devontae's just a buy low all season because he's just not doing good all season, you know? But I still was like, I think Chip won. I wasn't on the boat of like everyone else of like, man, Mike's like bad trade. I don't know if how many people actually meant it or if they were just messing with Mike too. But I was like, yeah, I think Chip won that. So Chip loses 111 to 106, basically 112 to 106. And if you look at Devontae Adams, he scored 1 point, Paul. And do you know how many points Raheem Mostert scored this week?
Probably 15. 10.
I think it was like 10. Regardless, whatever it was if he had Raheem Mostert, he would have won this week.
Yeah,
I had to give the bad news to Chip because he texted me and was like, you know what? It's all right. Like I would have lost anyways and stuff. And I was like, Chip, I don't mean to bring you down, but I think you're doing the math wrong. I think you would have won. And then he was like, yep, did the math wrong. Fuck my life. It was so funny. But it was going into Monday night. Chip needed 21 points combined between Goff and Devontae Adams, which, you know, you would think like on most nights that would like hit, you know, but I was worried. I didn't think Devontae would get 1 point, but I was like, if Goff has, you know, a 12-point game like he's prone to do, I was like, then you're going to need like 9 points from Devontae. And like he's had games where he hasn't done that. I did not expect him to only catch one pass for 11 yards. What, did you think that Chip was going to win this one, or did you think Steve was going into Monday night?
I thought Chip had it in the bag. I don't know. I mean, even though he's been like on a, downslide recently, and he's been asking to get traded, I think. But he didn't. Still.
Well, they're not like they said they're like not gonna trade him. Like I think they denied. Well, I think the deadline already passed, right?
Yeah, but I was thinking like Detroit scores a lot. They'd have to pass a lot as Las Vegas. I thought he'd get at least like 10 points for sure. So
yeah, I was thinking that it had like a 50-50 shot of going like working out, and that was just because I was afraid that I didn't think that it was gonna be. It wasn't even that like much of a blowout, was it? But I was just afraid that Jared Goff would only get like 10, 12 points again. And then I was like, man, and now it's not Devontae. But Jimmy G also overthrew Devontae on like 2 different what should have been touchdowns, maybe even 3 different touchdowns. Like he missed him on a bunch of passes. It was really bad. And Chip was losing his mind a little. And Chip started out 5-0. And what's his record now, Paul?
He is 5-3.
That's a 3-game slide. Paul said that one of those undefeated teams was going to have a little bit of a downfall here. And Chip, I don't know if Devontae doesn't pan out. I asked Chip panic level on Devontae. He gave me an 8 out of 10. So that's
maybe another trade perhaps incoming.
Oh shit! And then Steve gets, 25 points from, or 27 points from McCaffrey, 20 points for Devontae Smith. It's just crazy that Steve just has like so many like viable flex players. It actually looks like he started the wrong guys too, because Olave and Flowers did nothing while Terry and Javonte were on his bench doing well. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Who did the Cowboys play?
The Rams. I had the Cowboys defense in my work league, but someone dropped the Philly defense who was playing Washington. And so I picked up Philly and I was like, let's fucking go. And the Cowboys defense got me 18 and Philly's defense got me -3. But positive, I was pissed Monday because I was like, this sucks. I would have been down by 2 with Jacoby Myers left and this would have been a win. Okay, like I said, Jacoby Myers 1 catch for 19 yards. It's not half PPR. I would have lost by like 0.2 points still. So I'm kind of glad I didn't play the Cowboys defense. I would have rather lost by 20 than 0.2 again in there. But But yeah, Steve looking good. Obviously, Chip. What are your main concerns with Chip's roster right now? I'll give mine real quick. I
Mhm.
think it's Jared Goff. I think it's Ramondre Stevenson. I think it actually kind of is Jalen Waddle. I think now it's Jordan Addison because he's got no Kirk Cousins, and I'm kind of concerned about Devontae Adams. So
Yeah, I
Chip's
was gonna
roster is
say,
scaring me right now.
Ramondre for sure. Ramondre is just on a shitty team, and he doesn't score touchdowns, which is annoying. Um, because Zeke takes him, which
Mhm.
you know, Zeke's a good pickup,
I
I
think
guess.
that well yeah, I think like because I'm playing Steve this week and Steve is gonna start Zeke assumedly or presumably, I think everyone should just like smash Zeke touchdown this week because it feels pretty obvious that this is gonna happen. Like I'm gonna do it, dude. Like that's the perfect. It's the same thing with last week where I played Dewey. It's like sometimes you just feel when guys are gonna randomly do good and it's because they're playing
Mhm.
you. You know,
I do like Ferguson though. Who's his other tight end? Does he have a backup?
Taysom Hill.
Oh,
Yeah.
21. Goddamn.
I know. I guess he ran for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But that won't happen every week. But I do like Ferguson
yeah,
as like his main guy.
he's my tight end in my work league. He's pretty good. He's
Hey,
even
he's
better
mine in
on
my
half
other league.
PPR. I wish I had him and I wish it was half PPR in my work league. Bummer.
Yeah, but yeah, I can't say I called it, but I did say it. Chip's team was one of the ones on the radar that could have been on the downfall, and it's could be happening right now.
Yeah, we might be seeing it right before our very eyes. But then we got another 5-0 team. Austin is now 6-2 after losing 125 to 100. And I would just like to put it out there. I'm pretty sure my guaranteed win of the week was Dave versus Austin. I'm like almost positive
Yeah,
it was. And
yeah,
who is
yeah.
that sitting in his RB2 slot? None other than Miles Sanders with 0 points. This is going to be a reminder for the rest of the year. And if Austin doesn't win a championship this year, and it's because he doesn't have a second running back. He turned down Paul's offer. Paul offered him Brian Robinson and Nico Collins for just Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders 0, 1.2, 4.7. Like holy shit. Uh, that's crazy. But I also kind of knew Dave was going to win this because remember I was like,
Yeah,
Hurts is scoring 30, Kamara's scoring 30, Tyreek is scoring 30, and then it doesn't matter what the rest of his team does. And that's basically what
I know
happened.
what happened. And then Josh Jacobs actually did something. That's
Yeah,
good.
Josh Jacobs. That's crazy. I didn't even like they got killed so bad. I didn't even realize it. Damian Pierce is dead because I did call that he was gonna rip up Carolina, and I think Damian Pierce just sucks.
hmm
Actually, he
But
actually
look at his
had
bench though.
yeah
He's got
Hopkins had
Hopkins, dude.
33 on his bench. Yeah, well this is it's like the only game he fucking did anything. Basically 6, 8, 18, 2, 33, and it was 3 touchdowns on 4 catches. What the
Is
fuck?
Will Levis the future?
Yeah, maybe he is, dude. How many targets did he have? 6 targets, three
I was a
touchdowns.
big Will Levis hater during the drafts,
You
so
were?
I kind of look like an idiot. Yeah, dude. I was saying he's
Well, it
like
was only one
really
game.
overrated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I we'll see what ends up happening. I don't know what to think. I wasn't like a big. I think my main thing was like not saying he wouldn't have been good, but everyone was like he's going top 3, and I was like no, he's fucking not. I don't know where he got drafted. It definitely wasn't top 3. Um, but he's the dude that puts mayo in his coffee, so Dave is now 4-4. I think he's won 4 straight after starting off 0-4. Everyone wrote him off, and he didn't write back. Call him Geno Smith, and he kills Austin. Austin's 6-2 and is 1-2 in his last 3. Which reminds me, who was his one win against? I actually got to look this up. He's not 1-2. Austin started off
Wait.
4-0. Chip started off
Oh,
5-0. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so Austin's that's just a 1 game loss for Austin. That's not a big deal at all. And like I said, Dave's team is rocking, so it doesn't really matter if you lose them. Now Kyle had his best game of the season, which I think beats his game against me, which was his previous best game of the season, which I think was last week. He beats Nick 136 to 74. It would have been nice when I played Nick if he didn't score 128 and beat me by 1 point. That would have been really nice. I kind of wonder, is that the only time that Nick has scored over 100 points this week or this year? 61, 101, 128, 71. Oh, so Nick's actually scored 100 like 3 times. So that's actually not bad, but obviously none close to 128. Patrick Mahomes got Nick 5 points. That's insane, but it was a
Yeah,
CD
against
Lamb.
Denver.
Yeah, it was a
That's
CD Lamb
crazy.
legacy game for Kyle. It was a Jameer Gibbs legacy game, a Dak Prescott
Dak,
legacy
what?
game.
I didn't even look at that.
That's fucking crazy.
Oh
Um,
man.
that's insane. This was a no brainer too, though.
Classic
Actually,
fantasy victory of 3 guys combining for 80. Or
that's what
no,
I'm saying.
100 something.
That's what happens. You have three guys score 25 plus points, and they make up 80% of your points, and then you win that week. And that shit never happens to me. But Kyle wins. He's 5-3. Nick is 2-6, and now we have a little bit of a rivalry going on. For anyone that doesn't remember, some old memories got brought up in the group chat when Mike and Gorman were talking about a trade going on, like how they wanted to trade, and they just keep yelling at each other about trades that the other one's like fucking them over. And Mike said, I'm not having another Antonio Brown scenario again or whatever. And it brought back, totally forgot that year that Antonio Brown was on the Raiders and got cut. Gorman, the conniving bastard he is, traded Mike. Should we go back to the exact trade? I actually want to go back to the
Yeah,
exact trade. Can you
I
find
would
out,
like to know.
was it 2019? I think it was 2019.
Uh,
Let me check. Let me check.
what's his name? Antonio.
Yes, it was Antonio. Okay. Recent activity. Oh, I don't know if there is activity on this.
Last year played was 2021.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I wanted the year that he was on the Raiders. Either way, I'm
Oh,
going
the
back.
Raiders. I was thinking it was the year you left Tampa Bay. I don't know why.
So it was at the very least Keenan Allen. I don't know if he got. It doesn't look like there's like a transaction counter. Yeah, I don't think that any of these are going to show it. But basically, that year that Antonio Brown was on the Raiders, he got cut by the Raiders, and Gorman, being a sneaky bastard he is, offered Mike Antonio Brown, who wasn't on an NFL team, for Keenan Allen and maybe like someone else also, and Mike accepted it. And Mike, everyone, including me, I was like, Mike, why would you accept that? Antonio Brown isn't on a team, and Mike was like, because I'm excited to see where he's going to end up. And I was like, Mike, if you didn't know he got cut, you can just admit it. And Mike wouldn't fess up that he he knew he Mike kept saying he knew he got cut, and this was part of his master plan and stuff. It led to a big fight where Mike was saying he's quitting the league and stuff. And meanwhile, all I was trying to do was help him out by vetoing the trade so that he didn't have to like literally bring in a player that wasn't on an NFL team. Um, and Mike said no and got mad. One of the beginning times of Mike threatening to quit. And then towards the end of the season, Mike called me and was like, yeah, Brandon, I got to admit, I had no idea Antonio Brown got cut. And I was like, I know you didn't, Mike. It's okay, dude. So Mike Gorman fucked Mike's entire season over. So that's where the bad blood starts with Gorman and Mike. And now the bad blood continues because Gorman comes out and just smacks Mike in the face and beats him by 40, 124-90, almost 40. And yeah, I mean, Gorman all around good performance. AJ Brown continues to just say fuck you to me because I had this motherfucker last year and he sucked. Like in the first 11 weeks, he had because we're not any PPR, so I don't know how it was on half PPR. But in the first 11 weeks, I went back and looked, and I think it was 5 out of the 11 weeks he got me like less than 5 points. So naturally, this year he's just like fucking amazing. He gets 125 yards every single fucking week. Oh my god, if I didn't have him in fantasy last year, I probably would have fucking picked him this year. But I already had PTSD from that. Oh my god, I'm so pissed. Brees Hall pops off. Mark Andrews. Remember the only 2 years Mark Andrews sucked were the 2 years we had him.
Yep.
What the fuck,
Good
dude?
times.
Why is that a thing? But Mike's team just didn't really perform. I mean, Joe Burrow gets 28 points, and I bet Paul wish he had him. And Amon Ra gets
Yeah.
14, and I bet Paul wish he had him.
Yeah. I'm kind of regretting the trade that I did, but I mean, my
Could this
season's
be
already
a
over.
season where Mike wins 2 trades?
Yeah, Mike is cooking. Let him
He's
cook. I
fucking
mean,
cooking,
he's
dude.
4-4, but I mean, he's probably gonna make the playoffs. So we'll just
He's
see where he ends up.
he's fucking cooking, dude. That's all I'm
Yeah,
gonna say.
but yeah, I do feel as if I made a wrong trade there. Now that Burrow's, back to his normal form,
And now that
it's
DK like was never as good as Amon
yeah,
Ra.
DK injured or just mid. Amon-Ra still doing his thing.
I can
It's
just
not
hear
good.
the defeat in your voice right now.
I am upset. This could be a perfect formula to ruin some seasons, but I can't.
It's crazy. Gorman keeps scoring so many points, and Trevor Lawrence is just nothing. He just doesn't do anything every 17, 9, 14, 16, 15, 14, 18, 14. It just doesn't matter when you're getting like 30 points from A.J. Brown and 20 points from Thielen and 20 points from Brees Hall and 20 points from DeAndre Swift every week. So Gorman is still, in my mind, he is the best team. That's not changing for me. Oh, no, I forgot about this one. Paul versus Ryan. The season ruiner takes his first victim.
Second,
Paul,
right?
wait,
Who's
who
the
was the
first one?
first?
I don't know.
You weren't the season ruiner at that time, though, were
Oh,
you?
oh, never mind.
Yeah. Since you made the name the season ruiner, I think you're 1-2 now. But you beat Ryan by 4 points. Can you walk us through what happened in this matchup?
Yep. So I don't know. All you gotta say is just look at my name and look at the results. So the Jets defense get me 10, while the Eagles actually good defense gets -3.
I didn't even notice
That's a
that.
that's a large difference there. Another big thing, Jerry Judy on the bench explodes for 12 points. Absolutely pops the fuck off. So if anyone's interested, let me know.
He had 2
Um,
catches. It's just one of
hey,
them
hey,
must have been like a
close out of that.
30-yard
Hey,
touchdown. I
close
didn't
out.
even notice that.
Close out of that. And then another key point to look at here. Saquon, actually, I'm kind of afraid for him. They gave him 32 carries. I feel like he's going to get hurt again. 36
Oh
carries.
my
Holy
god.
shit. Yeah, so I'm kind of afraid they're going to kill him. He
Mm.
might get hurt eventually. Goddard back on his bullshit of 5 points again, but whatever. Things are okay. We got the W. Nico also the unrelated sorta. The fucking Texans losing to the Panthers is crazy.
Yeah, that was bullshit, dude. I'm
That's
fucking
absolutely
pissed about
nuts.
that.
Yeah.
I had a parlay where I picked like 3 games or maybe even like 5 games. They were the only one that lost. It fucking sucked.
Yeah. It's fucked up. But Ridley, he's back. Things are
Mm.
good.
Yep.
DeMercado, my RB2, I guess, because Brian Robinson is. I mean, he's had a tough schedule. I can't remember who they play this week, but I don't know what I'm gonna do
Philly.
with him.
Yeah.
Um, Metcalf on the bench. I think he's back in. My receivers are all right. I'm feeling all right about them. Running backs, I'm still a little scared. And kicker, feeling great. Got to point that out.
Yeah, because you went into Monday night. What were you even up by? I don't even know.
I
Like
don't know. I
3?
didn't really look. I did not see.
I'd have to do like the mental math of basically they went into Monday night and
Oh, he had Keenan. Yeah.
Keenan Allen just had to outscore Cameron Dicker by like I don't
What
know
would that be?
8 or
15?
so.
I mean, 5. Yeah, 5 to 8. Is
But no,
that
because
right?
he did outscore him by 2 as it is, and he still lost
Oh,
by 4. So I think he'd have to outscore
okay.
him
So
by like
7, 8. Yeah,
6.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay.
6, 7, something like that. Um, and the kicker, what a stupid fucking position. Paul picked this guy off waivers. He had by far his best game. Cameron Dicker had 4, 2, 2.5, 1.5, 3.5. He gets 8.5 for Paul.
Hmm.
Not only that, Keenan has a piss class against the Giants, the Bears. Um, and yeah, the season ruiner
Yeah.
wins 85 to 81.
It all came down to the defense and the kicker. Who would have thought, you know?
Yeah, actually, though that is true. You outscored defense and kicker is the reason why you won. That's insane. Josh Downs just might be him, dude.
Yeah,
But
I like him. He's cool.
but yeah. I mean, anytime you look at someone's running backs and they're starting Tyler Algier and Zach Moss, it's just not good. But yeah, Paul Ryan was pretty fucked. Yeah, honestly, like, no offense to Ryan, he didn't deserve to win this game anyways. At least you look, this is what I'm saying about the 30-point games, dude. You had 12, 14, 8, 11, 11, 10. Like, those are all
My
your
highest
double
score is
digit.
14. That's fucked up.
No, yeah. You don't have anyone scoring a shit ton of points, but like you have more than half your team scoring 12 plus or 10 plus. Ryan has 2 guys score over 10, Zach Moss and Keenan Allen, and then a 30 burger from Josh Allen, and that's he only lost by 4 just because of Josh Allen. Like, it's fucked, dude. This season sucks. But the season ruiner just ruined Ryan's season, and Paul, the rumor has it that the season
Hey,
ruiner's not done ruining yet.
Actually, I just fact checked something. I'm 2-1 with the name, because I beat Kyle since changing it.
I'm looking at your schedule. I don't believe you.
I just checked on my phone.
Oh, oh, okay. Yeah, I guess the season ruiners ruined a couple seasons. There's no way. Why would we not have made the thumbnail like you ruining a season then, though?
I didn't really. I mean, Kyle's team's good, and I didn't really like have a thing to go after him. You know what I mean? It's mainly
Wait a
for
second.
the
We
remaining
can see this.
rows.
We can see this on the scoreboard, can't we? What week was that? Week
I don't know.
six.
I don't think so because Mike's name is Pinhead Terry, so he would have been a 1 at that point.
Fuck, you're right. Uh,
I know for a fact that it was against Kyle.
no,
I
this
was.
is fucked up.
You do by team? Yeah, by team.
Where's by team?
4 over to the right.
Oh, there we go. Season ruiner. Oh, it doesn't go back far enough.
Critics are raving.
Damn it. What was your name before?
Jover. It's Jover.
Yeah, whatever. It's got to be somewhere around here, right? The
Yeah, what the
critics
hell?
are raving.
It was after I traded Joe, so whatever.
Well, this is fucking dumb. Yeah. All right. Well, we can't fact check this.
I swear it was.
Either way, though, Paul's out to ruin Ryan's or Paul already ruined Ryan's season, and he's gonna ruin some more
Mike is
seasons
next.
potentially coming up.
Mike is next.
Do we do? Yeah, let's look at standings real quick. And we got a little bit of a new segment coming in here. Standings wise, I wonder who's number. I don't know who number one overall is. We'll see that when we go to the projected playoff bracket. It's either Steve or Gorman. Gorman is in first in the East at 6-2. Austin is also 6-2. Bizarre that Austin has scored so little points compared to Gorman that Gorman has a 97% chance to make it, and Austin has a 77, even though they have the same record. Chip is 5-3. I'm 3-5. I wish I was 5-3. I'm 3-5. Nick is ahead of you.
Yeah.
Nick is ahead of Paul. Yes, he must have more points.
He's more for that.
No way, by a lot,
man.
by like 30. There's no fucking way. You are behind Nick. Nick, oh my fucking god, you are behind Nick. You guys are both 2-6, but Paul is behind Nick because Nick has scored 30 more points than Paul on the year. Is Paul the second lowest score?
I don't think I've hit 100.
You only have. I don't think you have either. You only have
maybe
like.
Week 1.
You only have no. You lost to me week 1. You haven't scored over 100 yet. Dewey's at least scored 100. That's insane. So you only have 20 more points than Dewey on the season, and Dewey is 0-8 and the worst team in Footbap history. How does it feel, Paul?
Hey. We got different objectives out here. I'm not trying to score points. I'm trying to
ruin seasons.
Win week by week.
You're just out here to ruin seasons. So in the West, Steve is in first, 6-2. Ryan is in second, 5-3. Third is Kyle, 5-3. Fourth is Dave, 4-4. Pinhead Terry, Singletary, Mike, 4-4, and the Pooh Bags are 0-8. Highest score on the season is Ryan now by just like 0.4. Lowest score is Dewey. Least scored on is Ryan by like fucking 80. Ryan is by far the least scored on. That's actually insane. I didn't even realize that. I thought it'd be Austin, to be honest. Most scored on is the Pooh Bags. Makes sense. And yeah, let's check the projected playoff bracket at this point. So Steve is the number one overall seed, getting a bye if the season ended today, but it doesn't. We have more games left to play. The number 2 seed would be Gorman going against number 7, Dave. Congrats, Dave has played himself into the playoff picture, knocking out Pinhead, I think. Yeah. So Mike is knocked out of the playoffs as of right now. Dave is in. I told you, dude, my bold prediction is Dave is not only going to make the playoffs, he's going to make it with ease, and I think that's going to happen. I think Dave might set the record Dave might win all of the rest of his games. I don't know how bye weeks play out, but like how do you compete with a team that gets 60 points minimum between two players, Hurts and Tyreek, right? And
Yeah.
and now that Kamara gets 25 points every week, like how can you beat a team that does that guaranteed every single week?
It's fucked up.
So Gorman and Dave would be a first round matchup. Some OU rivalry going on there. Chip versus Austin is 6 versus 3. No rivalry there. You know, I kind of wish, kind of hoping for a better matchup there. And then Ryan versus Kyle, no rivalry really going. I guess they're both West, and Chip and Austin are both East, but no, I'm not a fan of these matchups. Now, I guess the losers bracket's got some fucking heat down here. Dewbag getting the fucking first round bye for being the worst fucking team possible. Congrats, Dewey. And then we'd have Dr. Suck versus Pinhead Singletary. So me versus Mike, the 8 versus 9 in the losers bracket. That means nothing. And then it'd be Paul versus Nick in the losers bracket, 11 versus 10. Let's check what ESPN is projecting us to finish. I don't think anything's really going to change. Yeah. So, they didn't I say last week Gorman wasn't projected first, was he? Right? I'm almost positive. Because remember, I was
remember.
like, I think Gorman's the best team, and then he was only at like 4 or something.
Yeah. I don't know.
I
I
think
can't
he's
remember.
definitely at least moved up. So so Gorman is now projected to finish first. So ESPN knows. Steve is projected to finish 7th. Ryan projected to finish 3rd. Kyle 4th. Chip 5th. Austin 6th. Holy shit. You believe that? Austin is tied for the best record in the league, and the ESPN is telling him he's a fraud and saying you're only going to finish 6th. That's crazy.
That's
Remember, he was
crazy.
doing it to Mike that one year, all year too.
Yeah.
He
No
was like,
respect.
he was sole possession of first at 6-2, and it was like, yeah, he's gonna finish 6th.
We kind of knew because he fell apart.
Yeah,
So.
maybe they know something we don't. 7th is Dave. I think that Dave's gonna finish higher than he's too low.
Yeah.
Dave is gonna finish in
Dave's
4th.
top 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dave's finishing in 4th minimum. Like he could go higher, but it's gonna be 4th minimum. Looking at the message board right now, and it's we see it's Boiner time, and Paul has a Boiner or a
Yeah.
boner. I did not mean to say
Critics are
boing.
raving is not there still.
Yeah, Mike is projected to finish 8th, so Mike is no longer projected to be in the playoffs. Me 9th, which I've been at since like week 2. It just doesn't change. Paul 10th. You've moved up a
I'm
spot.
ahead of Nick in this. What the fuck? Right.
I think it's because it's projecting you to win this week, which we'll get to in a second. But Nick is
Yeah.
projected to finish 11th, and Pooh Bags 12th. Let's post a message on the message board. What are we thinking this time?
I don't know. Mike's the Mad Hatter.
Mike's the Mad Hatter.
What?
And he's stiff? Question mark. Maybe let's italicize that. Submit that. All right, and we got a special new segment here where I texted Molly all the names of everyone in our fantasy league, and I had her guess what she thinks the standings are right now.
Epic.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go to the playoff bracket just to have the official list here, and right off the rip, she's kind of low-key kind of onto something. Wow, this is funny actually. Okay, she thinks that Dave is in first.
What Ria's cobbler's record?
Yeah, so she thinks Dave is in first. Dave is in 7th, but he could go to first. Paul, she thinks, is in 2nd. Paul is actually 11th. She thinks Steve is 3rd, and Steve is actually 1st, so that's close. She thinks Kyle is 4th, and no, he's 5th. That's actually really close.
Wow.
5th, she said, was Nick. Nick is actually 10th. 6th, she said, is me, and I'm actually 9th. That's actually decently close. She guessed that Austin would be 7th, and Austin is 3rd. She guessed that Gorman would be 8th, and Gorman is 2nd. She guessed that Dewey would be 9th. That's close because Dewey is 12th. Can we at least? We're not getting one right. I just realized. She guessed that Ryan would be 11th, and this man is 4th. And she guessed that Mike would be last, and
Wow.
Mike is 8th. So close on a couple, but not good enough. But shout out to Molly for guessing totally blind. The first person that I've said to do a ranking or a power tier that didn't ask for what the standings were or any of the points scored or anything. She just sent it back, which is kind of what I want from people, to be honest. If I ask you to rank some shit, you rank them. Paul, right now, Carrots, Among Us, Mario Kart. Rank those 3.
Oh man. Carrot number 1. Mario Kart 2, Among Us 3.
I
Among Us
think,
has died.
yeah, I think I'd go Mario Kart over carrots, but
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. But yeah, Among Us last for sure.
yeah, that's a pretty good ranking. Let's get into this week's. No, let's not. Let's get into the recent activity. So we went over a little bit of what happened, but let's see what's happened since that trade went down with Mike and Chip, which goes from Dewey changing his name to the Pooh Bags. Austin picked up Will Levis for $18. Austin picked up Will Levis for $18, and then picked up Sam Howell for $11.
Dynamic duo.
Yeah,
Let's
now
go.
that's a duo. Just two rookies. He lost Kirk for the season, so he's going all out for these rookies right now.
Correction. Sam Howell is a second year. He just didn't play last year.
He's a fucking rookie. Okay,
No, he's not.
he's a rookie. If he didn't,
He
oh,
left.
I guess he played one game, didn't
He
he?
played in North Carolina 2 years ago.
No. But I mean, I think he actually did play in an NFL game last year, right? Maybe he didn't, dude. I
I
gotta
think
check.
so.
I
I think
always
he did play. Yeah, towards the end of the season because they won a few, and that's why he's starting.
Yeah, he played one game last year.
Only
No?
one.
Yes, one game. So, yeah, I guess he technically isn't a rookie. I'm considering him a rookie, though. Two rookie quarterbacks, $11, $18. Steve picks up Zeke for $7. Chip picks up the Raiders defense for $3. Kyle picks up the Patriots defense for $2.
The
Uh,
Raiders defense for 3. That's crazy. Never thought
y-
I'd see the day.
yeah, and you want to know why that happened, Paul? It's because someone destroyed the defense fantasy market and his name starts with fucking P, dude. I don't know why you did that. It was so nice
Pinhead.
when it was it was so nice when it was defenses get picked up for $0 or 1 if you're like really confident defense is doing good. But now we got people fucking spending $3 on the 20th ranked Raiders and $2 on the 25th ranked Patriots defense. It's fucking unbelievable, dude. Soon we're gonna have kickers going for $1. Like at this
Yeah.
point, like the way shit's going with how you fucked everything up. Pinhead picks up Dustin Hopkins. Chip picks up Brandon Aubrey, and those are two kickers, by the way. And then Mike picks up the Bengals defense for $0. Now that's a good pickup right there. A $0 defense playing Buffalo. Okay, I'm
What?
okay.
Michael, what are you
Uh,
doing?
it was $0. Look, the man was.
All right, I'll
Oh,
let him. Let
I
him cook.
actually want to see. I want to see what Sam Howell. So, whoa,
Actually,
holy
what the
shit!
fuck?
So Chip offered $8 for Sam Howell, lost it. Gorman offered $5 for Sam Howell, lost it. Pooh Bags offered $4 for Sam Howell, lost it. Kyle offered $3 for Sam Howell, lost it. Kyle dropped Sam. Kyle had Sam Howell this whole season. Why did he drop him? Oh yeah, Sam Howell had this 9-point game and he just fucking dropped him, dude. I forgot about that.
Goodness.
Will Levis. So Chip put in $2 on Will Levis. That was the only other person. But yeah, Sam Howell he's the fucking man this week. He is the man.
Who's
We are
Chip's
putting
quarterback?
$2 on. Chip's quarterback is Jared Goff.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's
Who
on
Jared
bye.
Goff?
Got
Yeah,
it.
he's on bye. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So that's the recent activity. Let's get into the matchups this week. Right off the rip, we have me versus Steve. Steve is projected. The projections are kind of fucked right now. Like I was saying earlier, there's like bye weeks and stuff. I got bye weeks, and I don't know who I'm playing and shit. Regardless, I don't think I'm beating Steve this week. I would be shocked if I beat Steve. Because I got guys on bye, including my tight end, and it's just all my guys have really tough matchups against Philly and the Jets and shit. So not feeling good about this. But Paul, do you have any hope for me, or do you agree that it's like I'm just fucked?
It might be Jover for you. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
I figured this was just going to be a week that I lose no matter what. Like once I looked, because I beat Dewey and I looked ahead and I was like, oh yeah, I'm losing next week. So
Yeah, like you said,
unfortunately,
you know Zeke is getting a touchdown.
yeah,
So
I know
you gotta
Zeke's
agree with
getting a
that.
touchdown, and I already know Ken Walker's been sucking lately, which means he's going to score 30. Hawkinson's definitely scoring 25 at least. Terry's probably catching a touchdown. Yeah, I'm fucked. So congrats to Steve on his win this week.
Steve just flat out ignored my trade request in the group chat. When he's
Ooh,
been trying to get B-Rob from me, I say scary Terry for B-Rob. And he
ooh,
doesn't answer, and now Terry's in his lineup.
yeah, maybe he needed Terry this week.
It's fucked up.
That's me versus Steve. Um, not too much fun going on here. And now we got the brother matchup. Could be game of the week. Nick versus Dewbag. Dewey might secure his first win. Nick's got buys and he's got no one good to put in, to be honest. So this is fucked. I actually think Dewey's. I'm pretty confident Dewey's gonna win. What do you think?
Yeah, I shit. I think Dewey's team like isn't looking bad. He's just getting unlucky. He's most scored on. You saw that earlier.
Yeah.
I think he might be on the come up. He's
No,
definitely
I
good.
do think Dewey's on the come up.
Yeah, I think he's my guaranteed lock. I'll say it now.
Yeah. So we're gonna have me and you are as of right now. My guaranteed lock is gonna be Steve. But if I had to pick a second, it would be Dewey. But still, the brotherly matchup, kind of like a piss bowl light, if you may. And now we got okay, that's not game of the week because we might have game of the week right here and right now.
Yeah.
Rivalry week. Pinhead Singletary versus the season ruiner. Mike, as we saw, has dropped a few games now. He's 4-4.
Yeah, he's outside the playoffs looking in.
And the season ruiner rolls up right in time, baby. This is projected. Paul is projected to win by 1. Paul, walk us through. Do you think you're winning? Who are you scared of? Who on your team you think is going to go off potentially, or what's the outcome of this game?
Yeah, I'm scared of Kareem Hunt because he's most likely getting a touchdown, at least one against shitty Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mostert, I hate him, and I feel like he's gonna just score at least 30 on me for fun. But
just for the hell
Mostert
of it.
Mostert and Kareem, I'm scared of.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. And then, the Bengals and Bills game will be great. Hopefully, it lives up to the hype, but hopefully Burrow doesn't go too crazy.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be a good one. I'm excited for it.
I'm glad you're excited for this.
Mm-hmm. How could you not be?
Yeah, if I had to pick here, I would pick you. And that's not just because that's not trying to put a jinx on you. I'm just kind of afraid of like is Dalton Schultz doing much? Like I guess he scored a touchdown 3 straight weeks before. Like I don't know. I just don't trust Henderson. Mostert's banged up a little bit. I don't trust Marquise Brown, especially against Cleveland. DJ Moore's got no one throwing to him. Like I think basically what I think is Seattle sucks defensively. I think you're getting 30 points from Lamar. Vegas sucks. I think you're getting 25 points from Barkley, and I think that's going to carry you to a win. That's what my prediction is right now. But I think it could easily be close. But Mike versus Paul, that might be game of the week unless something comes up here. Rivalry game for sure. And now we got wow. Oh, okay. So I got confused because I was like, didn't they play last week? And I just realized this is a playoff matchup right now.
This is kind of a game of the week. I don't know. This is game of the week too.
Yeah, but Paul versus Mike always has to be game of the week. How could it not be?
This is like the 2 top dogs, though. This is
true. These are my 2 top teams. Gorman's my number 1 team. Dave's my number 2 team. Dave is projected to win by 3, 110 to 107 right now. So Gorman was going hard for quarterback because Trevor's on a bye. Who do you think's winning this one? I think Dave is going to win, and I think it's going to be the quarterback difference. I think Baker's going to put up 10 points and Hurts is going to score 30, and that's like what the difference is going to be. But then again, the Steelers defense could get Gorman like 20 points. Like I don't know, man. This is fucking hard.
Yeah. I'm thinking it all comes down to AJ Brown. If AJ Brown keeps up his crazy streak right now, I think if AJ Brown busts for like 5 points, then no doubt Dave wins. I think that's what rides on it.
I think this is so tough. This is so tough because Indy's pass defense sucks, so Thielen's going off, but Pittsburgh pass defense sucks, so Hopkins is going off. Chargers defense sucks, so Breece Hall's going off. But Tennessee's pass defense sucks, so George Pickens is going off. Pittsburgh's defense sucks, Derrick Henry's going off. But the Chicago's defense sucks, Alvin Kamara's going off. What is the difference maker here? AJ Brown. This is crazy.
Look on at Pittsburgh. Is their run defense actually bad? Like that at Pittsburgh?
I don't think it'll show from here. I'd have to go to his team, but I can do that either way.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're shit.
Oh fuck,
they're shit. This is crazy. It's oh my god. This is so. I think that Kamara's going off. I think Tyreek is going off. I think Pickens is going off, and I think Hopkins is going off. And that's for Dave's side. But I
Mhm.
think that Derrick Henry is going off. I think Swift will be all right. I think AJ Brown is going to be pretty good. I think Thielen's going off, and I think Brees Hall is going off, and I think Mark Andrews is going off. I think it's going to come down to Jalen Hurts versus Justin Tucker. No, versus the Steelers defense. So, because I think that Jalen Hurts is going to score like 20 plus, and Baker's only going to score 10. But on the flip side, I think that the Steelers defense, like Tennessee, like I guess Tannehill's not starting. I don't know. I think I'm picking Dave to win this, even though I think Gorman's team's better. Paul, what do you think? I think Dave has better matchups all around.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dave on this one, but it's gonna be a
Yeah,
high scoring
highest scoring
contest.
game of the week, Dave versus Gorman, and I think it actually is our game of the week. Like
Mhm.
Paul and Mike, as fun as it is, rivalry there, like those are the two best teams in my opinion right now. Are Dave and Gorman facing off? Big game too because Gorman can win and solidify himself in the playoffs with 7 wins, and Dave, if he wins, he's starting to pull ahead a little bit. But if he loses, going sub 500, like he's still not totally in. So that's a big game for both of them. A little rivalry game going on right here. A little rivalry game, cross country game. Kyle versus Chip, and Kyle is projected to win by 25 as it stands right now, but Chip hasn't gotten a quarterback in his lineup yet. But I think Kyle's going to win this, Paul. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's hard to tell what's going on here, but yeah, I gotta stick by it. I mean, no offense towards Chip, but when I make a prediction, I gotta stand by it, even if it looks bad. Uh, I think he's not making the playoffs.
Holy shit. So my main thing is just that I think that Diggs is going to play well. Like I don't know. I guess this is closer than the projections show. But even when he gets a quarterback, and he's still going to be probably projected to
Mhm.
lose by like
Yeah,
10 or so.
Waddle's iffy, Adams iffy, Addison
Yeah,
iffy. His
yeah,
receivers are just tough.
yeah. Is Kyle on a streak right now? I feel like he's on a streak. Yeah, Kyle's 3-1 in his last
Take a
four.
look at the last
Besides the
one.
season ruiner, the season ruiner's 2 wins are 84 to 81 and 79 to 75. This is so disgusting. But I think Kyle's won this one. I think it's tough. It's tough. I don't know who Chip's gonna get at quarterback. I see a Dak Piscott game incoming. Aaron Jones has been sucking really bad. If Stefon Diggs and CD Lamb both don't get him 20 points, Kyle is going to lose. But if he
Mhm.
gets 20 points from both of them, he's going to win. Also, if Mike Evans doesn't catch a random 40-yard touchdown, he's going to lose. This is tough. This is tough. I think I might be leaning a little towards Chip. It's a total 50-50 toss up in my mind though. Um Oh, and now we got a little bit of a 6-2. Oh no, Ryan's 5-3. Either way, these were two top dogs at the beginning of the year, falling off a little bit, but both are 6-2 and 5-3. Ryan versus Austin. Does Austin have bye weeks? Austin has no ETN or Cortland Sutton. Austin is losing this week. Thoughts? He is
I
starting
agree.
Miles Sanders and Jalen Warren at running back. This is the fucking piss
A
running
running back.
back matchup.
Yeah.
The four running backs starting this week are Miles Sanders, who had 0 points last week, Jalen Warren, who's a backup running back. He's good, but he's a backup running back and has only scored double digits twice. Jerome Ford, who's basically just a ball of piss. If he doesn't catch a random touchdown or run like a 60-yard touchdown, and the man's not doing shit. And Zach Moss, who I think is probably going to do good against Carolina because they suck. I think Ryan's winning this one. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. It's not looking good, so I got to go with Ryan. He's gonna bounce back. His season was ruined temporarily, but I think he's all right.
Just a temporary season ruin. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Josh Allen will get him 20 something. Jerome Ford probably is going to get 6 carries, but one of them's going to go for 50 yards and a touchdown. And it's just going to be disgusting to watch Ryan keep getting points from a guy who sucks so bad. Zach Moss against Carolina, like I said, he's gonna do well. Um, yeah, Ryan, congrats on the win this week. You know what, Paul? Is there a little? Is that gonna? I know your guaranteed win of the week was Dewey against Nick, but I don't know. Ryan's sitting right there. What are you thinking
Yeah.
about that?
Uh, I can't change it. Austin's 6-2 for a reason. He's kind of lucky. He's kind of good, so maybe he
Ri-
pulls something out.
Ryan, you better text Paul right now and say thank you because
I
Paul
can't
didn't
do it.
curse you. Paul
I
didn't
know.
curse
Yeah.
you this week. Um, those are the matchups this week. Is there anything I'm forgetting before we sign off here?
Um, I don't know. Nothing. Nothing I can think of.
Yeah,
The
well,
Browns are looking good.
Cavs
No,
are
I'm
looking
kidding. They
bad.
suck.
Browns are not looking good. They just lost
Yeah,
to the
they lost. I
Seahawks.
forgot. Yeah. This
But
is
the
the first
Cavs
Browns
also aren't
game I
looking
didn't
good.
get to watch in entirety in years.
You didn't
So
watch the whole thing?
no, I was
Oh, you were
tripping.
in Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah. So actually, I'm blaming you for the loss then. Actually, you know
Well,
what? My mom usually watches the Browns, and she fell asleep during it. So that's two people down. I blame you and her.
damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I'll take the
So,
blame though. It's fine. We'll get him back next week.
dude, if we lose to Arizona, I'm fucking killing myself. Um, that would be crazy. Yeah, Paul. I don't know, man. The season ruiner. He looks like he's out for blood. And we got a lot of lopsided matchups, but game of the week, Dave Gorman, biggest game of Dave's entire life. This is a legacy game for Dave. Because think about it, Dave's already missed the playoffs one time in Footbap history. He doesn't want to do that again. He doesn't want to be in the company because me, you, Steve, Dave are the only four teams that haven't missed the playoffs more than once. Now, me and you haven't missed it once in general. We're on our way this year, but even Dave and Steve have only missed it once. Dave doesn't want to join that. Dave doesn't want to miss the playoffs twice. He wants
Yeah.
to beat the washed allegations. He doesn't want to wash himself. He wants to roll around in the mud and get dirty and gritty in some playoff action. You know.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
Poor Dave.
yeah, who are you know what? Let's ask this before we sign off here, Paul. I'm gonna go each matchup and tell me genuinely who you want to win each one of these matchups. Ryan versus Austin. Who do you want to win? Who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for Ryan because I don't want him to fall apart and miss the playoffs. As great as it is to temporarily ruin his season, I would feel horrible if he missed it.
I'm
So
I'm rooting for Ryan because Austin has a better record. Also, my sister did project Austin to lose all of the rest of his games and miss it, and I do think that would be funny. So I'm rooting for Ryan there. Chip versus Kyle, who are we rooting for? I'm rooting for Kyle personally. No offense, Chip, but it would be funny to see Chip fall apart. Also, Chip fucking beat me on Monday night by 1 point with 30 points from his defense. I'll never forgive him for that. So I want Chip to lose. But who do you want
yeah,
in that matchup?
yeah. Like I mentioned before, I got to stick by my projection, and we're going with Kyle.
All right, and Gorman versus Dave. Who are you rooting for? Now, let me say,
This one's
yeah, this one's tough, but hear me out. I'm rooting
Mhm.
for Gorman.
Really. I was gonna say I'm rooting for Dave.
No, I'm rooting for Gorman because I want Dave to miss the playoffs to not make me feel as bad.
I
So
don't think it's possible, dude. Dave's team is too good.
I think Dave's team is too good too, but they were. I'm pretty sure it was last year when Steve didn't make the playoffs and his team was good, but he just finished 7-7 basically.
Yeah.
So it's possible. I'm rooting for Gorman because I'm jealous of that Dave made a comeback and his team's good. I'm fucking pissed about it. Dave every year drafts the most questionable team possible, and then somehow he's like a top 4 team. Like I don't know how he does. He doesn't even really make moves for the most part.
Yeah, it's kind of insane.
In fact, not only does Dave not make moves, but he also makes the worst drops of all time. Last year he dropped T.J. Hawkinson. This year, who did he drop this year? He dropped a couple players that were like really bad drops. How does Dave do it? He doesn't make good pickups and he makes bad drops. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Season ruiner versus Mike. I'm gonna be honest. I'm rooting for Mike.
Come on, why not?
No, of course I'm rooting for my co-host here. I 2-6. Yeah, I feel bad. Also, it would be funny if Mike lost to this. Yeah,
Yeah.
I basically unless I'm playing the season ruiner, I'm rooting for the season ruiner to win.
Hell yeah.
Pooh Bags versus Nick. I'm rooting for Nick. I
Yeah, it
want
would be
Dewey to
funny if
not
Dewey
win
just
a
gets beat.
game this season.
Yeah, I gotta root for Nick too. It'd be
Well,
funny.
I want the first reverse perfect season, and probably the only one that would ever happen. So I'm rooting for Nick there.
Historical ass. as the
And then
Cowboys.
obviously I'm rooting for myself against Steve, but who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for you because hear me out. You have a path to the playoffs. I'm not kidding. You got
Yeah, right.
Mike. Well, Dave. Yeah, you just need Kyle, Chip, Dave.
My only path to the playoffs would be Austin and Chip losing out, basically, because
Yeah,
they
no, I'm
haven't
saying
scored
that.
like
Yeah, you
anything.
need 2 out of these 4 to crumble. Austin, Chip, Mike, Dave, or Kyle.
Mike's already out of the playoffs, so
Yeah.
I need Austin or Chip to also like keep losing games because they're not scoring much as it is, so I can catch up in points. I don't think I
So
can pass Dave in points, so yeah, I don't know. It's probably fucking over. If for me to realistically have made the playoffs, it would have had to be 5-3 right now, with those 1 point losses flipped, which sucks. But unfortunately, I don't have that. But there we go. That's let's do that every week. Let's go through who we're actually rooting for every week. That's fun.
yeah,
When
good. Like,
when when do you think you're going to get your next win, Paul?
when am I going to get my next win?
Yeah.
This week. What are you talking
All
about?
right, and there we go. And with that, Footbap Nation, we are signing off. Peace.
Peace.
Let's ride.